You may already know that I firmly believe that the borrower becomes a slave to the lender, because the most powerful tool for building wealth is your own income. When you don't commit your income to payments to third parties, you can invest that money and eventually get rich. The reality is that today, the average car payment in America is approximately $503 a month. That's absurd. If you invest $500 a month in a reasonable growth stock mutual fund from the age of 30 to 70, you will have accumulated more than $5 million. That amount could turn you into a millionaire. Isn't that amazing? That's why I've become known for helping people get out of debt. And this change not only impacts their lives, but also transforms their family trees and guarantees a dignified retirement. You no longer have to resort to desperate solutions to support yourself. However, this requires a clear purpose and the commitment to get out of debt in order to invest. This is the fastest route to financial independence. The most striking thing for me is that almost the entire financial sector only focuses on one part of the equation: investing. Everyone has their own theories about it. I have all the necessary certifications and licenses, I have a degree in finance, and I know the market. It's surprising how many people in the financial world, be they advisors, writers, bloggers, have opinions about money, but don't have any money or don't have a successful track record of teaching people how to invest effectively. Most of these people make their money from the rich because that's where their profits come from. Many financial advisors don't want to talk to you if you don't have a significant amount of money to invest. That's why, many years ago, I started teaching ordinary people how to invest. Over the years, I've met many millionaires and learned how they invest and succeed. I personally invest in growth stock mutual funds, diversifying into 4 categories: growth, income growth, aggressive growth, and international. I choose mutual funds with a track record of at least 10 years of good performance. Some might argue that index funds are the best choice. Well, you can invest in index funds such as the S&P 500, which reflect the performance of the stock market. However, the mutual funds I choose often outperform the S&P 500. It's not that hard to find mutual funds that outperform the S&P 500. So why settle for just average market performance when you can do better? My portfolio, which includes a mix of the types of funds I've described, generally outperforms the market. This is because I choose funds with proven performance. It's simple. Just open the prospectus and check the track record. This way, you can ensure that your investments are aligned with your financial goals, allowing you to build a solid foundation for your future wealth. One of the main charts you should look at when choosing a mutual fund is the comparison with the S&P 500. If the performance of the mutual fund you're analyzing is consistently below the S&P 500, it's a clear sign to avoid that fund. Yes, it may sound complicated, but it really isn't. And yes, I recommend that people buy loaded funds, those that have a built-in commission. But why? Because having a financial advisor by your side can be extremely valuable. All the data shows that you're more likely to keep investing consistently when there's someone guiding you. When you're on your own, it's easy to get carried away by your emotions and the catastrophic predictions on the news. In this scenario, you could end up withdrawing your investments at the worst possible moment. With an advisor by your side, they can remind you to stay calm and stick to your investment plan regardless of market fluctuations. The truth is that a well-diversified portfolio of well-performing mutual funds tends to outperform the market over the long term. The most important thing is to actually invest by putting money into these funds on a regular basis. Studies show that 74% of success in retirement comes from consistency in investing, known as the savings rate. It is the discipline of investing continuously, month after month, year after year, that leads to enrichment. I know a lot about mutual funds and choose mine based on their performance record. Around 80% to 85% of my decision is based on the fund's rate of return and track record. I prefer funds with a long and stable track record. This is similar to preferring neighborhoods with large oak trees when buying real estate. A long history of stability is a good sign. I spread my investments across 4 types of mutual funds: growth, income growth, aggressive growth, and international. Let's talk about each of them for a moment. The name of the fund usually indicates its content. A growth and income fund, for example, is also called a large capitalization fund or a blue chip fund. Blue chips are the most valuable chips on the poker table, representing large, well-established companies. Growth and income funds invest in large, stable companies. Of the 4 types of mutual funds, this is the most stable and least volatile. If you compare the volatility of these funds with that of the stock market in general, you'll see that they are much calmer. This is an advantage, especially during market downturns, as these funds offer greater stability. Large, old companies, the so-called corporate dinosaurs, can seem boring when the market is on the rise. It's not exciting to see these giants slowly rising while other stocks are skyrocketing. It can be a little disheartening. However, the advantage of these large, stable companies is that during market they tend to lose value more slowly, providing a certain stability to your portfolio. A growth fund, on the other hand, is right in the middle of the risk-return spectrum. The S&P 500 Index Fund, for example, is considered a growth fund, made up of medium-sized companies that are expanding. Sometimes you may hear these funds referred to as mid-cap funds. These are the standard growth stock mutual funds, and there are a vast number of them on the market. The idea is simple. A growth fund will keep up with market volatility, but it can also outperform it, especially if it's well managed. Aggressive growth funds are like the wild brother of growth funds. They are known for their high volatility and for investing in small-cap companies such as startups and many technology companies. These funds can rise faster than the market during upswings, but they also fall faster during downturns. It's a roller coaster ride that can bring great rewards, but also great risks. On the other hand, we have international funds, which invest in foreign companies. These are not American companies, and you may hear these funds referred to as global funds if they include both international and American companies. In general, American companies have outperformed international ones, so a global fund that mixes both tends to perform better than an exclusively international fund. Diversifying with international funds is a good strategy for not betting everything on the American economy. This is not a question of patriotism, but of diversification. You want to own some shares in well-known foreign companies such as BMW, Mercedes, LG, among others. Even though some of these companies have operations in the United States, their main markets and headquarters are in other countries, which adds an extra layer of protection and opportunity to your portfolio. Therefore, when building a balanced portfolio, it's important to consider a mix of these types of mutual funds: large and stable growth and income companies, medium-sized growth funds, aggressive growth funds, and international funds. Each of these types has its own role and can help ensure that your portfolio is well-positioned to grow regardless of market conditions. When we talk about foreign companies, we are referring to corporations based outside the United States. These could be French, German, Japanese, or any other country. These companies are included in international funds, which allow investors to distribute their capital between different economies and markets around the world. Distributing your investments between the 4 types of funds, growth, income growth, aggressive growth, and international, is a simple and effective strategy. However, the biggest challenge is not just talking about investing, but actually doing it. Many people discuss the importance of investing, but few take the initiative. Those who have become millionaires, according to our themed conversations, have followed this approach. They don't have stories of miraculous successes. Instead, they invested consistently and with discipline. I've never heard a millionaire say that they achieved their wealth with a stroke of luck in a single investment. There are no reports of a golfing buddy giving a stock tip that turns someone into a millionaire overnight. These stories are as rare as a golf buddy with a fishing story about the fish that got away. Everyone has opinions, but the reality is that investing slowly and steadily is the only reliable way to build wealth. It is therefore essential not to chase quick returns or invest in things you don't understand. Many people are fooled into putting money into investments just because someone trustworthy said it was a good idea. This is particularly true for athletes and celebrities, who often lose large sums of money because they hand over financial control to other people without fully understanding where their money is going. Losing money happens when you blindly trust someone else to look after your finances without actively supervising them. It's like entrusting the upbringing of your children to someone else without ever checking that they are being looked after properly. Your money, just like your children, needs your attention and discipline to grow up healthy. You don't need a master's degree in finance to understand this. Personal finance is not rocket science. However, it is crucial that you take it seriously and understand where your money is going. This is true when buying insurance, getting a mortgage, or investing in mutual funds. When seeking help in these areas, choose someone who has the heart of a teacher, not that of a salesperson. You need someone who is willing to educate you and make sure you understand the process. Don't invest a penny until you fully understand what you're doing. Once you understand something, it's much easier to make informed and safe decisions. The key to financial success is continuous education and disciplined practice. Investing consistently and with understanding is the right way to build a solid and secure financial